another episode every guy hates black men. This is just a vlog. Like I said, I'll probably take this down a little bit. But so I finished that video with SWP. I agree with what he was saying. He addressed a couple of things. I would have been like, as far as that you can get what you get. And one of the things that he's not, basically, I'm not saying BGS did cover it, but a lot of this stuff is the serial monogamy shit. That's like one of the things that he left out in the video or he didn't touch on in the video, the serial monogamy. And this is a play off of the last video I did. I know I got a couple of issues with the video going out. Sorry about that. I know y'all are sitting there waiting for me to go live to come back, and I don't come back. And my phone doesn't go out like that. So I try not to do that because that would be annoying to tell. Especially when it's a Sunday. Motherfuckers got to go back to work. People got other shit to do. I get all that, so my bad on that. I'm actually, yeah. So, but anyway, going back to the video. Yeah, man. He and apparently, well, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it's a lot of this is here's the overall thing. We can go into details all day, every day, but this is ultimately what this comes down to. This comes down to a couple of key points. Point number one. A lot of these women know more than they're letting on, so they're being disingenuous up front. They're not being genuine. And one thing, this is one of the reasons why I hate my brother, my sister, sister shit, even though I kind of do it out of habit, and I'm going to get out of that, because at the end of the day, we don't act, I got two brothers, and we all have different personalities. All three of us have different personalities. Yet, we have never had, I'll say prolonged conflict. And the thing is, at the end of the day, especially, when my mom passed away, there's had to be some very real conversations about some very real stuff. And I gotta say, for the most part, my youngest brother has definitely, stayed on point with his stuff. And quite frankly, he was on point with what he needed to do when my mom was alive. Crap. When he was alive, he definitely, my point is, when we had these conversations, when these conversations had to be had, and there's some real talk that kind of had to be had, it wasn't I'm not going to act like it's like the most civil in the world, but for the most part, it was civil, it was fine. And these things got properly communicated. There's a certain level, and even when mom was alive, there's a certain amount of reality. And unfortunately, my mom was the only one that really, when my mom was a logical person, but ultimately, my mom was a woman. So, depending on what shit was, that shit might, be what that is. But the thing is, you can't move forward if you're not willing to engage in the conversation in a real way. If you come into this conversation, and I think and not this conversation, but anything, politics, whatever area of activity, the issue that I have with black people, hold on, is black people go into a conversation of how can I run game on you? You know that video meme with 50 Cent, where it's this thing going around, you see it from time to time, where it's, I don't know, it's from Power, from something, I don't know where it's from. But 50 Cent will say, they'll have the caption, and in the video, and in the video, 50 Cent is saying, I was running game on you. I had to get the money, first day on, it's usually a joke with, first day on the job, you can't do the job, shit like that. And he's like, I was running game on you. I wanted to get to the money. And it's funny, but that's how black people act with black people. Now, black people are not, usually black people are not going to be that quick to quote unquote run game to that level on other groups. And some of them do. When it comes to a lot of these coon services, like Lucas is a perfect example of kind of pretending to be a full-fledged coon, running game on white folks. But that shit got tiring. He did that shit until he didn't. Right? He did that shit. Yeah, appreciate the link, man. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App. For real. But yeah, he did that shit until he didn't. Because at the end of the day, if you, with white people, and white people don't hold other white people to that level. But when it's other groups, you get one time to fuck up. For the most part. There's exceptions. Kanye's an exception. Lord knows Kanye's an exception. There's exceptions to this rule. But you get one time to fuck up. One time. Tommy found that out. A lot of folks find that out. You get one time to fuck up with them. And black women do the same thing with black men. They're pandering. You get one time to really fuck up. One time to fuck up. Even on the slides, and you're done. And it's amazing how instinctual that is. Not, no, we gotta litigate it and see what we do. Nope. You're done. On what they care about. Now, Derek Jackson cheating on his wife, because they want to fuck him, that's fine. Because that just means he's community dick. So they were cool with that. Some of them didn't like it. Some of them fell off for the most part. Yes, stuff, shit like that. They act like they have a big issue with it. But truth be told, if they want to fuck you, they don't care. They not really. They'll have their little emotional moment. But if that dick is a commodity, they will let that shit go. Unless you just keep doing it. And truth be told, a lot of Derek Jackson's, if we're gonna be real about it, a lot of Derek Jackson's fans didn't want him to be married. They didn't like him being married because at the end of the day, he could pretend to be what he wanted to pretend to be, but they already know what it is. Black women are not real Christians. They're matriarchal, and they want they just pretend to be Christians. Most of them, they say they're Christian. So going back to what I was saying, if I detect in a conversation, I go into the conversation. Is this a genuine conversation? Are we having a genuine communication? Or are you just trying to run game? Meaning, are you trying to get me to buy into your point of view? And usually without facts and logic. Without facts, data, well, facts and data, same thing. Without data and logic. Meaning, if you're not bringing new data into the conversation, notice how even if it's bullshit, they just try to find a way to make you wrong. And you can tell. When people like to not talk or ask you a whole bunch of questions but not answer questions, when they try to they keep on just firing like random shit out, just like talking points, but it's not really based on shit. They just give you talking points to see if you can do a 30-yard dash over the hurdle over each talking point and then hit you haha. This is why Anton works, because at the end of the day, Anton is married, been married to a black woman, got a black daughter, has some money, has social media clout, so you can't even act like he don't know about social media, has talked to these chicks on, so you have to address the question because the hurdle's there. And usually a lot of times people don't want to bring people in like that unless they're going to play the game, because now you have to answer questions, which means you can be potentially exposed for what you really think. And this goes in this gender conversation and this in the like political and racial conversation. Right? So a lot of these conversations are disingenuous conversations. They really are. Especially when the women, even with these women, you always get these hang around bitches. We know the chicks that have been around, they're cool, they got their opinion, they agree, whatever. Shout out to y'all. But these hang around bitches that they come around here and then you find out it's an email or some shit that they want to do some COINTELPRO shit. They got an email like laying out. They want to destroy the space and they want to do this and do that. I mean, you either want male leadership or you don't. Male leadership is you doing what you're told, even if you don't necessarily agree with it. Everybody don't agree with the law, but you better follow that shit. Otherwise, it's a consequence. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't want black male leadership, just say that shit. So, because that way, when you say that shit, then black men, you all lose the right to ask black men for shit. And that's where when I say it's deception, these conversations are fundamentally deceptive. At the end of the day, let me say something for you stupid motherfuckers, you dudes that want to uphold what these bitches on, you dudes that's got daughters and you think you're gonna verbally voice an environment for your daughter to be in this magical kingdom that nothing ever happens. Let me cut it to you straight. Men that have the options to do something different are not gonna do what's not in their best interest. And if they do, there is something that they want that they're getting. Let me give you a perfect example. If you see a nigga with money, if he's with a chick that's got a kid, I'm not saying that chick is fine as hell, but that chick is on the better looking end of what he can get. It may not be obvious, but there's generally always a reason. If you see somebody's taking a discount, like if you see a skinny dude and a fat bitch that look like she been fat, not she got fat, you already know what it is. He's got a place to stay. He's got a place to stay, and the burden of stuff, at least economically, and you're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of that. The burden of that is on her, and she clearly can't get nothing better. Not on the looks end. We know what it is. When you see, dudes are skinny, it's not like they're skinny because they work out. They got that kind of Tupac skinniness. Like, you don't eat all the time. Eat skinniness. We know what it looks like, and I'm not hating. It is what it is. We know what it is, And so when people try to play this game, what's up, Art? Exactly, Art. And that's always been the case. Or what happens is, like, do not get me started on what goes on in the workplace. Bitches don't get, a lot of chicks, like, it ain't just black women, by the way, to do this. So let me be fair about that. But, like, when it comes to, like, marriage, like, man, motherfuckers don't, and fuck the work husband shit, motherfuckers don't give a fuck. You have no idea how women, like, you chicks, black women in general got a nerve talking about women of other races do dirt. Like, y'all bitches stay doing sex work and shit, and y'all just don't call it. Y'all do the same thing niggas do. They try to buy a flashy car that you can't afford, buy a 10-year-old BMW you can't afford, because Lexuses maintain their value, so you ain't gonna do it with a Lexus. Or buy something you can't afford, wear clothes you can't afford, or that you could put that money somewhere else so you can look good. That's you tricking with extra steps. Women do the same thing. They like to trade that pussy for favors without this. This is why they always so confident that they can get a dude hemmed up, because all they got to do is tell and just blow the shit up. This is why I tell y'all shouldn't be doing that, because they're gonna fuck y'all up in the end. The same way that blew up on Derrick Jackson. You have no idea how women do that shit, and they just compartmentalize. You'll have bitches talking all the shit in the world, and they just some of the most dirtiest bitches is the way they act, the way they move, and they think because they move in a more upper middle class or middle class way, and their reputation ain't trash because maybe they're smarter than the average black chick. They move kind of like white women in that way, as far as they just not sloppy with their shit. Man, these bitches, there's a reason they like Sex in the City and shit like that. They operate like Sex in the City but married. This is why I'm gonna keep it real with you. Any nigga, if you're married and your wife is going on a girl's trip every year, she's cheating on you. Just know that. Now, what you willing to do with that is up to you. She ain't going, like, she's cheating on you. Like, and it's just simple shit like that dudes just overlook. And if you don't believe me, go on a trip with your boys. Go say, yeah, man. We don't even say we got this trip planned. We about to go. It's cool. My friends want to get me to go on this trip. They said, they've gone on it. They want to, get me to go too. We going to the DR, Jamaica, Europe, whatever. It doesn't matter. The islands, Europe. Say that and just watch how she reacts. And I'm saying if she's been going on trips, just watch how she reacts. She's eventually going to pop off on you. And don't even bring up the fact that she goes on a trip. Just give it time. If she reacts in a bad way, that's what she's doing. Because there'd be no reason for her. I'm not talking about, I'm worried. Like I said, if she's going on a trip, it's one thing if she don't go on trips. If she's going on a trip, she's been going on trips, and you ain't said nothing, and you decide you want to go, that's the scenario. My point is, when I was listening to SWP's video and I finished it, it's like he said something about we have the numbers now, like this is the 90s where we don't have the numbers. I'm going to keep it real. They had the numbers then, too. But black men have this thing, and this is where black men have to be responsible. Black men buy into the lie because their egos don't allow them to see it for what it really is. Kevin Durant did a video with iSpeed, which is interesting in and of itself. But he had an interview with him where he's there. They're both being interviewed. And he was talking, and people have been talking about on social media how he was talking. I may do a video on this. How he was talking about, you know, I had to learn because they was like, why don't you have a girlfriend? And just because he don't got a girlfriend don't mean he ain't out here fucking. You know, but basically, you know, low key, he's living a bachelor lifestyle. He's living a low key, I don't want to call it MGTOW, but he's not obligated to have no girlfriend. He's got to be seen. Fuck it. Michael B. Jordan is just like that. It's like, I'm chilling who I'm chilling with, and I don't need to have no official girlfriend. And he said, you know, I had to learn, and then Speed be like, oh, you must have got hurt. He was saying it in kind of a funny way, but still, that's what he said. And he said, nah, he says, you know, I just had, you know, I realized she ain't mine. It's my turn. And he had to kind of be, that's his flow. And it's like, if it's my turn, why I'm like, why make them yours if it's just your turn? Why me give her all this lifestyle? We gonna chill. But there ain't no point calling it nothing. And he was just being very matter of fact about it. And that's a very MGTOW approach. See, that passive MGTOW is what was dangerous. Because it's not, no, well, women did something to me, so fuck them. No, it's that's what I'm gonna be on default unless somebody gives me an option. And obviously Kevin Durant is the type of dude where he can pull that shit. Right? And you can't say that, because what you really gonna say? Oh, he lame, he goofy. Okay, he can be all that. He's still Kevin Durant. Donald Glover is too. It's funny how they lame and they goofy till they with white women. Well, why he with a white girl? Because he lame and he goofy. So I don't even know why you even mad. So my point is, when we engage with women, or you engage in this conversation, they have one goal, which is to get you to buy into the narrative that benefits them. That's it. It's very rare that they are going to have a genuine conversation. You have like Shay Sade, Didi, Reba TV, all of them, cool. But even then, people can make an argument. That's for the YouTube. Time will tell. But my point is, and you see what they do with them. When they want to have a genuine conversation, what they get called, pick me, this, that. So, because that's when we talk about childless women are a commodity, because it's not a lot of them, and how you talk about he don't care about body count. Now, he talked about how, and I get it. He cares about childless women more than body count. I get why that is. That's not what I agree with. He tried to, you know, and my thing is, if body count matters, not for ego, because if you get into it, if the body count matters, because if that chick has been sexually turned out, like, we got to stop acting like sex don't affect women the same way as it affects, like, a different way. Not like, we got to stop acting like that. The reason why that matters is like dealing with somebody with credit. If you're dealing with somebody with bad credit, you are a fucking fool to act like you gonna be the reason that's different. Period. This is why women always talk about, I need 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches. Whether they capping or they need more and more and more, because sex is like any other thing. Though, as the body gets used to it, you build tolerance, which means you have to have higher shit. And as a result, that will affect the relationship. So a lot of these relationships are over before they start, and you are making a real commitment. And you, especially if you talk about kids and stuff, and there is a financial exposure you have to that. You are a fool to not take that into account. So if you looking at a bitch, I don't give a fuck if she's childless. If you looking at a bitch and all the women fuck her body count. Let's say her body count is like 6. Let's say that. It's 6. Let's say it's 6. She got married, got divorced, no kids. Or not. If you look at her family and see her family, the women in her family not still married, I don't care what her body count is. That's how serious dudes need to get with the vetting. And other groups do that. Yeah. Kevin Durant, that's what Kevin Durant is saying. And so people can say, oh, well, he got money, so he got to see if it's this with money. Yeah, but even still, because my thing, and people, Jada Black has said this, he's absolutely right. You shouldn't even get married. The reason why people get married in the league, really, like a big reason, is because it makes you more viable for endorsements. That's the main reason. But other than that, ain't no point. And honestly, what endorsements really matter when you getting the kind of NBA money the NBA about to get now, like the kind of money they about to get, endorsements don't even mean shit. Like that's why you see a lot of these motherfuckers are doing the most when it comes to kids and shit. I mean, how much are they gonna really pay you? I mean, how much are they gonna really pay you unless it's like State Farm or something? At this point, you doing them a charity, to be honest with you, especially with the local folks, because it ain't, you know, even if you like on the bench, you still like seriously. Is I mean for real, and so my point is, you know, when people be on this, when people come in this conversation, these women be, you know, they want to test you. It's like, yo, you are completely like you are, cause in the way all completely unoriented, disoriented when it comes to how you address this. And this is why I say shit like date, just tell them to date white. Because my thing is, black women very much understand that they can't do 25% of the shit that they do with black men, whether they date a Hispanic man, Asian man, white dude. They can't. So they're giving all of that matriarch, for the most part, all that matriarchal shit up. And it doesn't matter if the dude is broke. It does, like Gary, it doesn't matter. They gotta give it up. They gotta significantly carve. It's like they gotta significantly cut out their soul of how they want to act. They know. And that gives you leverage. And a lot of dudes don't really understand that. They don't take that into account. Because their thing is that you ain't a man until that bitch say you a man. And it's something about black women. This is why black women think black men that date outside their race are weird. Because the way they want it is that validation can only come from a black woman. Other men don't think that way. They just don't. This is why I keep saying we have like unique problems. And so it really comes down to black men's mindset. It really does. At the end of the day, you got dudes, you know, yeah, I want to self-improve. You want to self-improve not to have an overall greater quality of life. You want to self-improve because what you really want is female validation. And if that's really what you want, then you can just pretend to be the type of bitch she wants. And you'll get that. Just be a good actor. Some of you niggas need to learn fuck self-improvement. Some of you niggas need to learn how to take acting classes. Some of y'all need to take that seriously. Some of y'all need to learn how to take public speaking classes or acting classes. That's really all a lot of you niggas need. Because if a nigga got that quote unquote hood swag, you ain't gotta necessarily be the most in shape nigga. Like if you one of these, you know, muscled out niggas, a lot of them bitches don't even like that shit like that. Not to that level. They like that basketball skinny thug muscle look. A lot of women don't like bodybuilding niggas. I don't like a lot of y'all fall in love with that John Henry, He-Man bullshit. Nah, they don't want no, you know, dude like that's not, you know, niggas, oh yeah, I'm short, I'm just gonna be cop diesel. That's not necessarily what they want. Yeah, they want to do built, yes. But yeah, it ain't just that. No, they do. Shout out to Andre for the $10 cash app from earlier, as well as Nate for the dollar cash app. All dollars matter. I appreciate y'all throwing some a dollar in the bucket. Appreciate that. Might as well give it to me than give it to the church, because you know what they doing with your money. They just tricking. Jason Hells, I caught your previous video. If a kid is functioning illiterate, the military won't even take them. Yeah. So you can't even go to the military. I'm gonna tell you right now, if like that's the one thing I'd probably say, if you have no fucking clue on what you want to do, you might as well go in the military, 18 to 22, get that 4-year contract out. Because you still got a lot of your 20. They want a nigga 5'10", 110. Yup. Because truth be told, if you 5'10", if a chick is like 5'3", 5'4", 5'2", if you 5'10", if they like you, they'll just say you 6 foot. You know how I know that? Because I'm 5'5", and chicks that like me, you gotta be like 5'7", and they be, especially if they say it more than once. In their mind, they can't date a dude that's 5'5". I've seen that. Hell yeah, the military got requirements. I mean, trust and believe, like, even though, say what you... No, I'm not saying that, because I ain't saying that. It's just, it's a preference. But yeah, so at the end of the day, the reason why the numbers aren't important, and even with the dudes, because like when you look at how the dudes, because the women are going to do what the women do, that's female nature. We understand that. So we kind of know to expect it. But it's when it's the dudes, when they say shit. That's the shit that kind of annoys me. Because I know why you're saying it, and in your mind, you're basically trading a short-term argument for long-term consequences. So when niggas like to talk about, oh, you got a daughter, or they like to say, well, if you had a daughter, well, the reality is the environment is gonna dictate how safe the someone's daughter is. And so if the environment is polluted with bullshit, just because you all don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it ain't gonna deal with your ass. I love what A-Train said on The Boys. He had this scene, and this is not really a spoiler. This is not a spoiler, but he had a scene with Eminem. That's what I call him, Eminem. And he basically, Eminem talking about how he want to leave, how, basically, because, he's about to fall into the reach back. Accountable commentary. He about to fall into the reach back, right? And with his ex-wife. And then, he said, I got, how niggas do. I got responsibilities to my family. Like, and then A-Train, and y'all, MC, you think this shit ain't coming to, you think this shit ain't coming to Belize? You think this shit ain't coming, you think this shit ain't coming all around the world, nigga? And to me, that's just like that's just like the gynocracy. You think this shit ain't coming to Africa, nigga? No, that's just America. You think this shit ain't coming to a home near you, nigga? Yo, these bitches acting up. This is like 28 days later, my nigga. This is, shout out to what's it called? He talks about Umbrella. Oh, I gotta do some AIs with that. Like Umbrella. You think this shit ain't coming? Like, you think you just gonna run? This sounds like some anti-PP passport bro shit. You think this shit ain't coming to a culture near you, nigga? You already see the signs. You better deal with this shit. I'm sorry, that scene, I love that scene. Cause and that's what he had to think about. He was like, fuck. He like, fuck, you right. And he said, what you gonna do then with that shit? Cause I was like, and that's, I was like, yeah, A-Train. And that actor, shout out to that actor. I don't know. I don't know how you end up in the wrong. I'm not even going. Don't even mess with it. Just let it sit right there. Just let that sit right there. That's just funny. Well, again, the issue with the lame thing can't, even though that is funny, the issue with the lame thing is, like I said before, and I'm going to say again, black people don't like talking about culture. And because black people don't like talking about culture, black people have and this is, when I say black people, I mean black men and black women, especially ADOs. This is why we don't have a good, we don't exercise that muscle, so to speak, right? So when we use the term lame, I think lame is a very destructive word. because in the way we use it. I really do. And so when you say you think you ain't gonna be lame in Brazil, the thing is, like Donald, let's be real here. You know, lame has different meanings depending on the culture. Let me give you an example. You think black women don't date lame ass white boys all the time? But they're gonna bypass that because those white boys aren't lame. The fact that black women date, here's the thing you have to ask yourself. Why is it that black women will date a personality type outside their culture, but not inside their culture? They'll date a white nerd, but not a black nerd. We know why. And it's not just with it's Hispanics too. We know why. So my question is, why doesn't lame, you rarely even, I said this before a while ago, you rarely even hear black women call somebody lame. For example, Candace Owens called, Eminem lame because he had something to say about her or something. But other than that, you rarely hear black women call people of any other race lame. You rarely hear it. We're talking about the bombastic chick, and it's worse if you go somewhere else. Because they don't think they have the rank to do it's way worse if you go to like Brazil or somewhere else. And I'm talking about, and see the funny thing is, I'm talking about like, I ain't even talking about the dark black women, because a lot of what you would consider black, they would consider mixed there. Which a lot of people don't think about. Shout out to Marty for doing that, on the ground research. So dudes have this 100% buy-in with lame, yet you see these women are fucking motherfuckers that you would call lame. Now you'll call a white boy lame. You may laugh at it a little bit, but say, oh yeah, whatever. You just charge that up to being white, right? But no, she'll act like that ain't the same thing, to the point where she has a sexual response to her core that responds differently. Black men have never, ever, ever really adjudicated that or really squared with that. They just ignore that. Like, okay, that's just what happens. No. They making you pay lame taxes, meaning black men have to all be pushed into one stereotype in order to appeal to our own women. That's crazy when you think about it. And black men buy into that too, to the point where they actually low-key and I'm not trying to come down on you, I'm just giving an example. Black men will actually regulate other black men on this. That's how crazy that is. That lame shit is something black men will actively police other black men on. And if you ask them why, they don't know. They really don't. They act like what a black bitch thinks somehow is like the quality of life is health, money, time, freedom, relationships, and the fifth one is what a black bitch thinks. You have motherfuckers saying, why does Michael B. Jordan like white girls? Because white girls didn't think he was lame when he was at the beginning of his journey. I'm going to tell you a secret. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. If the first group of women that gave, I'm talking about that you were sexually attracted to, not no ugly bitch, that gave you some pussy was bitches of another race, that might explain to you why a lot of niggas seem to have a affinity for other chicks. So if you see a nigga that I ain't saying he's ridiculously cooning, but he seems to have an affinity for white bitches. It seems like he just gravitationally pulled, even if he tries to resist it a little bit, towards white females. It's probably because white bitches sucked his dick first and gave him some pussy. And I'm not talking about just once. I'm talking about once, twice. Because that imprints you, because obviously our main charge is to reproduce. And the bitches that fuck with you, that you like how they look, I ain't talking about no ugly bitch, but like how they look. So if you see a nigga, Rampage Jackson said this. They were, it was an interview I saw, and it was a quick clip, and it was like, dude was trying to, be funny about it, but say, man, I never see you not with an Asian chick. And Rampage was like, no, that's not true that I only date Asian chicks. They said, and dude, it was funny, because dude was like, dude, bruh, I'm a fan of you. Meaning, I've seen, like, I've watched you more than other fans. I follow your social media, all that. I've not seen you with nothing but an Asian bitch. And then he tried to respond, but he started kind of laughing because he had to think about it. He's like, oh, okay, you know. And I get what he was trying to communicate, what Rampage was trying to say, because he went on to say blah 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 blah. But he's trying to explain. He did explain that they treated him well too, like from the beginning. But I'll say this: I'm not saying he's only attracted to Asian chicks. That's not what he's saying. But what he is saying is probably his gravitational pull towards Asian chicks, because Asian chicks gave him some pussy first and they were nice to him. That's kind of like a psychological imprint. You got bitches you wanna fuck, then you got bitches that I'm talking about that look good. I ain't talking about no ugly, and maybe so. Maybe ugly bitches you do get imprinted. That may be why a lot of y'all niggas like fat hoes, because fat hoes gave you purse. Oh, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. No, that's... Yeah, but that's not what lame... That's accountable commentary. That's not what lame means. That's not what lame means. Because, honestly, there's niggas that I know... There's niggas that I know of that can't read and write and would be... and not consider... Read and write and they ain't got money, but they get bitches because they got hood swag. So that's... Competence ain't what lame is. So I call cap on that. You can argue speaks to rebelliousness, which is where the controllable, the dangerous thing. And even with that, I mean, again, that fire can burn you and that fire can warm you up. Like if you use an adjective to describe a man as dangerous, I'm not saying a man doesn't need to know how to defend himself and be dangerous, but if that's like the thing that you're thinking about that you're describing with a man, if a chick is with a man, yeah, my man is like that's in the top 5 of what you thinking about, then understand danger goes all ways. Danger doesn't care. Let me give you an example. Catch Me Outside girl, Bad Baby, whatever her name is, she's got a dangerous boyfriend. Her boyfriend slaps it, bounces her head off. This chick is worth like $15 million at least. Her boyfriend bounced her head off the wall. And she wants to make apologies for it. Got black women talking about, it takes 7 times to leave before you actually... Well, that's because you're a dumb bitch. That's because you bitches are dumb. That's why that is. Because you bitches are dumb. Because there's plenty of other niggas... I love that man more than I love myself. Well, you're dumb. Because there's plenty of other dudes that'll fuck her. Even with a kid. So it's not money. It's not you can't get the same dude. I believe you like motherfuckers that hit your ass. It's probably how she grew up. You like that shit. I'm not even saying all of that. Because I don't want to get, oh, you just like thugs. I want to go deeper than that with it. But my point is, lame is this like, it's like light to moths. And it's like dudes have this, it's like, imagine if other groups that you compete with are like, I need this. I'll give you a perfect example. In The Boys, Sister Sage was feeding misinformation through somebody. And that got found out and got fucked with. But she was like, I'm doing it this way because I want to push them this way. So when I'm doing what I'm doing, they'll never see it coming because they think they're getting information. Misinformation, right? He calls them busy assignments in Chicago. We call them send-off missions. Crash out missions is when you doing a suicidal thing. Send-off missions, right? That's what lame is. Lame is this thing that this is false sense of masculinity. Because if you date, because here's the thing, if you date outside your race, notice how if you're a black man and you date outside your race, there's how you approach dating outside your race, and there's how you approach dating black women. Why is that diametrically different? Because there is a culture you have to plug into in the black community that's built on matriarchal standards and principles that somehow every dumb nigga that's ever come before hasn't basically called this out and challenged this except for us. Whatever. Some people have. And then there's how you date everybody else. literally every other group is similar, and then it gets a little different outside of the baseline similarity, but black women are different. Why the fuck is that? We know why it is. And so you don't apply the same, like, you may apply similar tactics. You don't apply the same exact tactics in the community you do out of it. Why is that? This is why your game coaches are talking game. I'm like, motherfucker, you better be certified in dating a black bitch. I need a subject matter expert on Keisha. So I don't need a dating coach. I need a Keisha dating coach. I need a Keisha dating coach with an when you go to college, you have a business degree with a focus in accounting. Yeah, I need a game coach with a focus with another master's of dating Keisha. Oh, those you can't find. Those you can't find. Because all these niggas, well, I am black. Yeah, but okay, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you fucked a black chick? Oh, well, I mean, all women are the same. If they're the same here, they're the same everywhere, man. A whole bunch of not answering my fucking question. A whole lot of not answering it. I asked you a question. When is the last time you have fucked a black chick? Well, I mean, what's really a black chick? That's what we doing. That's how these niggas sound. That's how these niggas sound. They don't touch them. Black chicks might as well be kryptonite pussy to these niggas. Now, Tariq can answer that question. Probably before he was married. Glendon can answer it. Glendon can answer it. ARC can answer it. RIP. Rom can answer it. But you ask these niggas, these gay niggas, I mean, true be, people be like, well, Myron can answer it. Myron be tricking. Myron be tricking with his show. And real talk, yeah, Myron be like, what black bitches you think Myron fucking when he was like working for Homeland Security or that shit? Seriously. Fuck out of here. And you already know what Fresh is on. Yeah. So I mean, so I get it, but my thing is lame focuses you, like when have you seen a black chick married to a cool Jewish person? Look at who Susan Rice is married to, who Ebony Williams was with, who Kamala Harris is married to. Like Robert De Niro would be the closest one. Look at who George Lucas is with. These are not dudes, like seriously. But yet black women always seem to be around Jews. Jewish dudes end up, and I'm telling you, that's because they're matriarchally oriented. That's what that is. You think it's the sex? I mean, for real. If you look at the standards that they put us on, and then you look at who, and then they'll get with these people and say, well, I'm with them because I wanted to have, a real relationship and blah, blah, but that's not what you selling. Seriously, though. And it's like, this is basic. This isn't even like complicated what I'm saying. But it's nobody never calls that out. And it's never. Serena, I mean, for real. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. I'm being for real. And it's like, seriously. I mean, seriously. And so, and dudes, and look, until like a plurality of dudes, like at least 30%, really starts calling. I mean, a lot of dudes, what it is, what happens with a lot of dudes is they figure this out, and then they don't get on YouTube and try to change the world. They're like the Near Vengeance, and I'm not blaming them. They figure this out and they move accordingly. and they move and they don't have guilt about it because they like, look, I already know you coming with. They know that anybody like when you hear Umar and them talk the shit they talk, like, dude, I know you. I mean, you full of shit. I mean, we can have a conversation, but you still full of shit. Like, and then I'm not about to go through the depths of time to show you how you full of shit. Just know you full of shit. I know you full of shit, and I could give you a book, a whole encyclopedia on why you full of shit. Like if we were sitting here in a barber shop. So it ain't even no point us going back and forth and you trying to test what I know. I can give you a couple of simple things that you gonna be mad. You gonna act like you can't believe I said that shit and all this other bullshit. But ultimately, you full of shit. FYI, y'all, we'll see. I'm working on some of my AI stuff right now when it comes to when it comes to I'm working on some AI stuff right now, and I'm working on a black centric. So basically, the way my AI stuff, I'm not gonna tell you everything about how it is, but it's gonna be multiple. It's gonna be the red pill AI stuff. So that's gonna be stuff that's gonna be really geared towards y'all. It's gonna be geared towards y'all. What I think y'all want, what the feedback is. So that stuff. I mean, really, I should have did a political cartoon with Donald Trump. I still may. And shout out to the man to Seals looking goofy as hell. You know, talk about it's stage, it's stage. I mean, my thing is Trump would have no reason to do some crazy shit like that. Too much stuff is looking good in the polls. He's already winning. And with his kind of legal shit, for him to do something like that, the way that could politically look from a global standpoint, he would be fucking with his family, his family's wealth, his family's legacy. He would be fucking with a lot of shit doing that. Trump is not that stupid to try to run a play like that on his own. Apparently, the dude looks white. I don't know why they saying he Asian. He looks white. So and it's funny because the narrative, oh, is he an incel? Is he this? Well, I mean, an incel that's going after Trump. You know, because they want to make it like it's just these angry white males that, you know, they just ain't mad at everybody liberal. But anyway, but I'm doing the red pill one. We're just going to speak to red pill stuff. So take a lot of stuff I've said before over the years and like highlight that. And then I'm going to be doing a few more. So one that I'm mentioning you all is going to be something called Urban AI Edits. And that's going to be, you know, that's going to still be, it's not going to really be, it's not going to be red pill. It's not going to have like a lot of the red pill principles. It'll be framed differently. That's going to be for black men, black women, whoever want to participate. And it'll allow me to do more greater AI art. So I may do some Egyptian shit, some shit like that and stuff like that. Yeah, they're not saying it. They're just moving and they don't have guilt about it. So they're not going to bring it up. And when it does get brought up, you know, they're not going to be, I mean, they're just not talking about it. And it's not, that's their prerogative. I have no problem with that. Everybody's not online. Everybody's not online like that. Ah, shit. A lot of people don't think about that. Urban Aid, yeah. So that's going to be a brand, and that brand is going to be more, you know, it's going to be black centric. So black themes, black this, you know, it ain't going to be no throw up queen shit, but it'll be black centric. And so that'll be black focused. And you know, so that's going to be the one. So so on top of the red pill stuff, I'll probably promote that there. So I'm letting y'all know because that stuff is about to be launched pretty soon. Yeah, and people need to believe it's staged because if it's not staged, he basically that won him the election, which is kind of funny because now that you finding out a Republican did that, that's kind of funny. But I don't know. We need more information. But he was already low key winning anyway. So yeah, so if you see that on, so yeah, so that's gonna be something I put on you. That's gonna be kind of a separate thing, and yeah, so I'll give y'all more information on that and everything, but that's gonna be separate. That's gonna be very separate. Like real talk, my name is not gonna be on that. You know, it's gonna be real separate. And again, it's gonna be themed. It's gonna be fun stuff. It ain't gonna be something. Oh man, look what you doing. It's gonna be AI art. So taking this and kind of me launching it. So yeah, and that. So anyway, so stay tuned for that. And yeah. So anyway, there's stuff coming up in the pipe. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Let me see. Y'all hit the appreciate she hate me with the $10 cash app. Yeah, Zoomer, you doing too much. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let it go, but you kind of doing too much. I don't know why y'all get in here. I don't know. I've never understood what's the thing about coming in here and just wilding out in the chat. I don't understand that. I really don't. Anyway, with that being said, you know, this is Edward, you know, signing off. Peace. Yeah, Detroit, if you want to holler at me about some AI stuff, email me at edwardanderson300k at gmail, or put a comment in under this video, and then we'll do that. Because that's another thing. I'm kind of thinking about how, because I'm not going to front. I'm not giving y'all everything I know. I spent like a year learning this shit. But I'll give you all a lot. But I'll give people a lot of stuff. But I'm not going to give people everything I know. But so I'm still trying to think about how I want to kind of, you know, get people into AI stuff and using AI stuff. So yeah, just comment on that and let me know what your question is. And yeah, so with that being said, it's Edward signing off. Peace.